Welcome back to Top 5 Auto Repairs. How do you know you have a bad engine control module? If you ever wonder how a bad engine control module looks like, this is it. There's a burnt spot over there. That's another burnt spot. That's another burnt spot over there. And that's also another burnt spot. And I spotted another one. As you can see here, this engine control module failed and something is causing this computer to burn out. The engine control module can fail for many different reasons. For example, let's just say you have an open wire at the crankshaft position sensor and the two wires touch together. That can actually cause the engine control module to short out and fail. On some vehicle, if you jumped your battery and you got the polarity backward, this can short out your engine control module as well. Engine control module can also fail when this weather strip over here start to wear out, and it allows condensation to get into the engine control module and cause it to prematurely fail. Or over time, these soldering joints over here and anywhere that there is a soldering joint, it can actually start to crack and break. This usually happens when the engine control module becomes hot, then it becomes cold, then it becomes hot, and it becomes cold. Basically, it expand and contract, expand and contract. Eventually, these solder joints can break, and it's going to cause the engine control module, once again, to fail. Another reason why engine control module prematurely fails is because of its location. As you can see here, this engine control module is located right in the engine bay, so it's constantly exposed to engine heat. Of course, this is going to cause the engine control module to become extremely hot and cause it to prematurely fail. Some engine control module is located directly on top of the engine, and that is a very bad design. I've seen this on some European vehicles, and in my experience, it is designed to fail. And one way to tell that if you know the engine module is failing is when you got the engine up and running, and if you tap on the engine control module, the engine might actually stall because all these little parts, again, as I mentioned, due to these soldering joints, or let's just say some components are starting to burn out. And if you tap on the engine control module, the soldering joints can become loose. And one thing you'll notice is that the engine might start to stall, or the engine might start to act up. If you suspect that you have a bad engine control module, you can always remove the cover. Sometimes it could be difficult to remove this cover because the weather strip is over there, and you may have to pry it open slowly. Once you got the cover off, you can always do a sniff test. Basically, you want to sniff the engine control module, and if it smells burnt, then you know the engine control module has already burnt out. Also, make sure you inspect the pins on the engine control module, because these pins over here, they can become rusted, or maybe you might have poor connection. Overall, just make sure that the pins are in good condition and make sure they are nice and straight. How do you know you have a failing engine control module? And the first sign that you know that your engine control module is failing is you're going to get some sort of lost communication codes, such as U1000 and U1001. When the engine control module is failing due to bad transistors or bad soldering joints, or overall there's just something wrong with your engine control module, this can trigger a lot of different engine codes. For example, you can start to have a lot of strange codes that just don't make sense. For example, you may have evap codes, you may have an engine misfire, you may have mass airflow sensor codes, you may have idle air control sensor codes, and so on. If you start to replace a lot of parts and you try to erase the codes and the codes won't go away, that could be another sign that your engine control module is failing as well. The next sign is going to be you're going to have engine performance issue. For example, you may start to have an engine misfire, or you may have a hard time starting your vehicle, or your vehicle may stall out of nowhere. When inspecting the engine control module, Make sure you replace this weather strip on the engine control module, because if you don't replace it, again, this is going to introduce condensation into your engine control module. What I normally do here is that I use silicone, and I just apply silicone all around here, and that will work as well. I hope you found this video useful. As always, thank you for watching, and subscribe to Top 5 Auto Repairs.